Steel Rangers.
It is November 13th. The sky is gray, but it's not raining. So we're gonna get out and have some fun. There's a nice little place out here. It's called Clemens Park. Our research indicates that it's a perfect time for salmon run. If we get lucky, we might see a few. And that tiny little park has 5 geocaches. So we'll just have to let you know how it goes today. We will see you on the trail.
At the entrance to the park, we crossed a river. This means that all plans must go on hold for a game of poo sticks.
There's one right there. Right there. Right there. It's already gone past you. The big one. There's the big one right there.
Science demands that every experiment has to be repeated at least a dozen times, or until a car chases you off the bridge. While the rest of the crew was figuring out the map, the head ranger snagged our first find. The path closest to the river is studded with picnic tables. Each little turnout has decent access to the river for fishing, skipping rocks, or continuation of the game of poo sticks.
Okay, now it's barely moving down. The first one was going upstream.
A river running in a narrow valley brings lots of moisture, and that brings life to every imaginable variation of mosses, ferns, and lichen. A bit down the trail, the path narrows and runs closer to the river. It is no wonder that everyone turns into a picture-hungry tourist at this point.
That is about a 20-foot drop right there.
Somewhere down this path, we found our second geocache, and then continued through the enchanted webs of Spanish moss and trees wrapped in thick pillows of moss.
We're coming across a creek and saw this sign here that actually says all the wood that's been dropped into the creek is here for a reason. You see those big chunks of trees? That provides food, shelter, and good living conditions for the salmon and other fish and aquatic life that comes up this way. And suddenly we come across this. Looks like this guy already done his job and came back here to become food for something else.
The GPS gets really jumpy at this place. Out of 3 promising directions, 1 finally panned out. Besides mosses, this park has lots and lots of mushrooms. We tend to follow the ancient wisdom that all mushrooms are edible. However, some may only be edible once. This 4th cache was tricky and almost got us to go bushwhacking to it. Fortunately, the logic won out. We stayed on the trail that meandered us right to the cache. By the 5th and final cache, our GPS gave up and gave us the spinning treatment. We ended up thoroughly examining a perfectly innocent stump just because it was the largest of its peers and seemed like a great candidate to protect a cache. Luckily, different rangers have different geosenses. Thanks to the lead ranger, we departed with a complete set of smileys for the day. Then, our awesome chief ranger got us all home safely well before sunlight dropped behind the hillsides.
Today we hiked 2.5 miles in 2 hours. We collected a very small amount of trash and 1 can.
We also found 5 geocaches, everything that we set out to complete today. We did not see any fish, unfortunately, except for the dead one. We will see you next time at
Hashtag pliking.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Flash. Turn the flash off, please. It's blinding me.
It's automatically doing that.
I know that you can turn it off.
Okay, start talking.
Today we hiked 2.5 miles in 2 hours.
We found all 5 geocaches that we set out to find. And we found just a little bit of litter.
We'll see you next time at
Hashtag
Hashtag
pliking.
pliking.
Hashtag pliking.
Like 2 of us, like this. You do one hand, I do the other
Okay.
hand. Okay, we ready?
Today we hiked 2.5 hours and 2 miles.
See what I mean?